Alrighty, fellas. Good morning. Good morning. I think I have kind of a fun, interesting plan for today. I am going to be permanently egging today, boys. Okay, that is the plan, which means I'm going to be sitting here at my PC, hatching as many eggs as possible. So let's just get 5 in our inventory. I'm going to be passively buying dittos as much as possible today. And then we're just going to make eggs, not on shiny charm, like just on dinner status. You don't always need, like, shiny charm is argued whether or not it's like super effective and super worth it for egg hunts and rare hunts. I am just going to passively buy eggs off dittos off the GTL for 5k Pokeyen and just hope for a rare. And we're hoping for a Christmas miracle, to be totally honest. That's the main, like, I'm hoping to, just make some eggs passively, talk to chat, hang out, enjoy ourselves, and have a little bit of a relaxing time heading into the Christmas event and heading into the PokeMMO Christmas event. Heading into the Xmas event and Christmas in general. Let's just spend time, hang out with each other, go for a rare shiny, hope for a Christmas miracle, all while just chatting, having a fun time, having a relaxed day. I don't do a whole lot of relaxed days, but you know what? Today will be a good relaxed day. And I encourage you guys to also take a break from PokeMMO heading into the Christmas event. It's something that I always do, is I always take like 3 to 4 days off. 3 to 4 days, I don't allow myself to play PokeMMO heading into the event. So I encourage you guys to do the same. We're going to see how that goes. And I'm going to go grab my Santa hat and put that on ASAP because I need a haircut, and we're going to hide that. I will see you guys very soon with some egg hatches and some egg making. Okay, someone asked, how many expert lures should you be expecting to use in a legendary hunt? There's a lot of math you have to do to come up with that answer. So you should expect to use around 10 expert lures from my testing, costing around 15k Pokeyen, around 10 expert lures per hour if you're short of like a legendary, like encountering and running away. So keeping in mind 15k Pokeyen per hour equals 10 expert lures, and that's the hourly thing. How many hours would it take you for a legendary on average? Let me switch my eggs really quick before I answer this. Sorry, give me 1 second. So what I would do is, we also don't know the legendary rate is the problem. It is somewhere between 1 out of 2,000 and 1 out of 8,000, but it's never been actually publicly revealed. We are guesstimating it's somewhere around 5k. So for the sake of this, I'm going to assume it is about 5k. The calculator's in the bottom middle of the screen right here. You should be able to see it. Let's say it takes 5,000 encounters on average. You should be able to get around 300 encounters per hour if you're hunting efficiently. That is with like Illuminate, Swarm, some sort of 10% encounter boost lead Pokemon, as well as lures. So if we do that, it's around 17 hours or so with human error per legendary. So let's do 17 times, what's the math on that? 10. So around 170 expert lures, I believe is the math, right? 170 expert lures is what you should expect to use per hour. That's going to end up costing you 1,500 per lure, about 250k. So this is why I always tell people, if you're hunting the legendaries just to sell them, it is so unbelievably inefficient, let alone the time it takes. You would literally be losing money, right? If you're hunting legendaries just to sell, it is so horribly not worth it. What you should do is hunt the legendaries to catch a legendary with your OT, because that's a cool thing. It's a cool collector's piece. I have one of each legendary with my OT. It's also just a fun thing. Like, you also don't have to think about it from an efficiency standpoint. If you just like hunting legendaries because you enjoy it, that's what PokeMMO is all about. Finding endgame content that you enjoy doing. The endgame content doesn't always need to be rewarding. You could just do it because it's, or like in-game rewarding. You could just do it because it's mentally rewarding because you enjoy the activity. So take that with what you will. I'm going to go ahead and I need to get a bunch of dittos over in my boxes because my mail is unbelievably full. In your opinion, what's more efficient between hunting a legendary and buying off the GTL? This isn't even like a remotely close argument. You could you could play PokeMMO for 1 hour, easily get enough Pokeyen to buy most legendaries off the GTL, except for like Zapdos. This is like 3 hours of Pokeyen making for most, maybe like 4 to 5 for the average player, most players, I would say. It is so much faster to buy anything in PokeMMO, efficiency-wise, in any market, any MMO. That's why it's like, it's always better to like do the most efficient money-making method and then just buy whatever, but it's usually not fun. So that's the thing to keep in mind, is like fun, right? It's not really enjoyable to do that. I think legendaries are something that is super interesting and fun and special, and most people want their OT on their legendary. That's just maybe it's my conjecture, but I feel like it's something people value. It's why we see so many people, even if they don't really think about it or come to that conclusion, there's a reason why we see so many people hunting legendaries, right? I think it's a fun, interesting thing to do. And I think a lot of players want to do it for the OT collective aspect, not the efficiency aspect. Hello, Mr. Patrouski. Is it a good idea to invest in the Christmas sleigh? No, absolutely not. I will warn you. The Christmas sleigh is a seasonal vanity, which means it returns every single year. Seasonal vanities are almost always never good investments. You will almost always never be able to flip them for profit, except for extremely niche cases, like if it's the first year of the vanity. So, for example, the flaming blue motorcycle, that one might be flippable. Because it's the first year that it's in existence. So it's very possible that like there won't be that many of them supply wise, and there will be enough demand outside of the season that people would be willing to be upcharged by a few $100K or maybe by a mil or so on them. So maybe like stuff like that, but I would never invest in seasonals usually. Like they're usually not a good, even then they're only a short-term investment at their peak, like 6 months or so. You never want to hold it in a seasonal for over a year, because then you've totally deleted all your profits, right? Alrighty, fellas, since this is probably going to be the last stream until Christmas, at least last PokeMMO stream, I might stream some Marvel Rivals because that game is a banger. But we're going to do something fun, spicy, interesting. I'm going to make some eggs. We're going to hatch them this stream. And I'm also going to make 20 alphas just for fun. No HelloFresh subs needed. These are just for the fun, for the excitement, for me, for the possible chance of a Shalpha. Let's go get it, fellas. I'm going to go pop a shiny charm. No mysterious balls unless someone HelloFresh subs, but let's go for it on the beat drop. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Wish me luck, fellas. Let's jump into it. Make the eggs as quick as possible. We'll head over to Altering Cave after we are done making our breeds. I think something super important to keep an eye on this upcoming Christmas event, and just event season entirely, is that the PokeMMO developers' design strategy seems to have like monstrously changed. In the past, they would almost never do big updates alongside holiday events. They would kind of stagger their updates to keep things the most interesting for the longest period possible. But recently, dude, they've been dropping fat updates with holiday events. They've dropped alphas, they've dropped legendaries, they've dropped insane updates alongside holiday events. So I think that's something to keep in mind. You know, I shouldn't expect a big update every holiday event. I would go out on a limb and say that I would even predict, I would bet like $1 million Pokeyen that they nerf alphas either this Christmas event or this upcoming Lunar New Year event, or do something to nerf something to help the economy. My guess would be some sort of catching Pokemon, or probably I think alphas have to be adjusted. So it wouldn't surprise me if alphas get nerfed or changed this Christmas event or upcoming Lunar New Year event. That is a prediction on my end. It very well could be wrong. Please don't make any decisions based off of that, but that is just something that I think might happen. Has a very good chance. I'd say like a 60 to 80% chance of alphas getting nerfed this Christmas event or Lunar New Year event. We'll have to see how much demand raids add to the market, though, is a big thing. Just have to play it by ear. Maybe they'll change alphas to raids. That's something that's been talked about and theorized a ton. I could see that, like, if raids get permanently released, they just cut off alpha swarms and make it so that alphas are a raid reward. That would be pretty interesting. But it would be, the problem with that is that would be so hard. Well, it depends how regrindable, like, it depends how regrindable raids are, right? Like, my only worry for that is the ability of alpha shunters. Like, how, if there's that, like, that's so many less alphas coming into the game, most likely, it would make Shalpha hunting even more difficult and more expensive, and it's already ludicrously expensive. It's a tough thing to balance. It's tough to balance a game and a market. It's tough to, like, alphas are so difficult to balance. I can sit here and say they need to nerf alphas for the economy, and it's so easy for me to say that, but it's hard to acknowledge not only do they need to nerf alphas for the economy, they also need to nerf them in terms of the actual PVM experience of how, not nerf them, but like balance them. So let's say balance, sorry. They need to balance them around the economy. They need to balance them around how difficult they are to catch and the actual PVM experience of that, right? They need to balance them around PvP and hidden ability access. They need to balance them around shiny hunting, right? Every single mechanic when it comes to a Pokemon MMO affects like 5 different things, and a lot of players who only do one thing in the game will often only think about that one perspective. So it's very important to have all perspectives: PvP, shiny hunting, economy, even just like casual. Like, it's so important to have every perspective and think about it, because you balance everything around everything. Whereas I see so many comments like, when it comes to like legendaries is the easy. People say, oh, just ban them in PvP, and it's like, well, that only solves 1 out of 5 problems. Like, You've got to think about it from every perspective. You can't just think about it from one narrow-minded perspective. You have to consider everything. It is extremely difficult to balance a Pokemon MMO. This is why so many Pokemon MMOs have failed, and why Nintendo, in my opinion, hasn't made one. It's very, very difficult to balance. It is not a good, I mean, I want to say it's a good system for an MMO, but it's really, really tough to balance. Very, 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 very difficult. Yeah, I really hope to see this as well, Jaheim. They should make raid drops with rarity. So like an alpha could be common, master ball could be hyper rare. I don't love that the raid reward right now is just an alpha Pokemon. You just get IV rolls. I think having more variance in the loot drop would be amazing. Master balls is a raid reward. I don't know, rare candies or certain items. Having more variance in the rewards you can get, similar to other MMOs raids, pieces of gear, mounts, etc., is all super, super, super important. Anyway, I have a cursed, I don't know if this is cursed. I don't know what the general opinion is, the consensus on this food item. I absolutely adore and love, this is also probably from nostalgia, because we would have them at, my aunt would make them for Thanksgiving growing up. I absolutely adore pickled eggs. I fucking love pickled eggs. I don't know if that's I don't even know who else eats pickled eggs besides like dumb Americans. I don't like, and I love pickled. I'm saying that as I love pickled eggs. Oh my god, they're so. I don't know who else eats that. I love them so much. Pickled eggs are amazing. They're like these weird pink. They're boiled eggs, and then you pickle them, and they turn out like pink and rubbery, and they're freaking delicious. True and real. Something I've learned recently is that paying for the gender on certain alpha breeds is unbelievably worth it. Like, it's kind of crazy, actually. So like, for example, these why can't I move these? What? So these male quillfish cost about 40k, right? But female quillfish only cost 10k. It's a crazy difference of 30k, right? So if I just pay 5k to make the breed male every time, pay to make it male, then I can pay 10k for the female, and then I'm only paying 15k. That's actually really, really good. Only paying 15k per alpha breed is actually very, very, very cheap. Quote unquote cheap, right? Whereas if I were to let it randomly roll, and I'd have to buy the other ones, the male breeders, it ends up being like 40k per breeder. So 15k per breeder versus 40k, it is like ridiculously good to make sure to pay for the genders on certain alpha breeds like this. It's like super, super, super important. And there is the final second, the end of the shiny charm, the end of an era. I'm gonna head straight back to the PC and just pop eggs. I want to be on egg duty. I also need to count. Actually, you know what? I'll do 2 more encounters, get up to an even encounter number of 23,700, then head back to the PC, do an even count to see how many eggs I made, and then add the eggs I made to the encounter counter manually. This is going to be encounter number 24,000, though, which is kind of cool. I'm really hoping to get lucky on this hunt. I'm really hoping to be under 30k. I don't know. I'm feeling like it will, but maybe I'll be wrong. Hopefully 26k or less. My last hunt was like 60k encounters, and I have been pretty unlucky overall on the year. Even though I had some amazing moments this year, shiny hunting, like 3 shinies in one day was insane. I think my overall rate for the year has been 1 out of 38k or so, and that's like with donor statuses and stuff. So, and shiny charm. So, hoping my luck, you know, long term it should even out, but at the end of the day, all you can do is get more encounters. So it is what it is. Hoping for this hunt to be a little shorter, possibly. I'm so glad you asked this. I don't think you can, and I wish you could. Conan in chat says, can I turn off the online/offline notifications? If anybody, I don't know of a way you can. If anybody knows of a way, I would actually love that so much. I can't stand all of the players online, offline. It's so much. I really, really wish. Yeah, not that I know of. I really wish you could turn that off. It's actually so, yeah. I would, if you, that's a great question and a great little like quality of life request from the devs. That would be so nice if you could turn that off. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, breaking news for those who didn't see it. PokeMMO is officially cutting off support for older Macs, which I mean makes sense. You have to cut off older support for older things over time. It's harder to always watch out for certain cheats and certain things with them. I understand, but like what really sucks is the notice. Getting this 6 days before the Christmas event, if you're someone who only plays PokeMMO on an older Mac, finding out about this 6 days before an event that you've maybe prepared for and maybe like worked hard for and all this, like that and I love, I think the PokeMMO devs do a lot of good things, and I love to praise them when I can, but it's classic their biggest problem of lack of communication, like not communicating this sooner. Maybe, and you could argue they just didn't know it sooner, but then what? But if they didn't know it sooner, you probably shouldn't cut off so soon. Like, at least give them a few months, at least give them a few weeks. Like, 6 days notice is insane. A 6-day notice right before a massive event. Like, do they really have to cut it off with the, like, why not just delay it to a later update? I don't know. It's really fucking lame. Yes, the lack of time on the notice is just, there's no excuse. I understand if it's something they have to do. I get that, but why 6 days before? And why initiate it in the, maybe there is some reason, but like, then it's a mistake on their part for not having the foresight, right? So there's always, this always comes down to they fucked up somewhere. I don't know where, but they made a massive mistake somewhere, which sucks. Obviously, there's probably not, it doesn't really affect that many people, hopefully, but like, people play like on older max specifically and only, but it's gonna affect some people, and for those people, it fucking sucks. Like, I know it affects Clarko in chat, like, it's unfortunate, it really sucks. At least the heads up thing. The heads up thing's got it. The communication's got to get better. If you want to talk about the Gen 6 discussion, this is the, in my opinion, the only even possible. And I still think we're pretty far from this, but I could be wrong. People, I don't know if we just got Johto, guys, like less than a year ago, or sorry, about a little over 1 year ago. Historically, the fastest we've ever seen regions added is 2 years. We're gonna be a while away from Kalos, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but someone did say, do you think maybe they will put Gen 6 Pokemon as part of the event and not the whole region? The most possible way that we do get some sort of Gen 6 thing, in my opinion, is them introducing Gen 6 Pokemon via the Altering Cave or via some event or something like that. I would rather them do it via some permanent piece of game content like Altering Cave and not something temporary like, what's it called? Like a limited holiday event, though, but that's just me. I think we're pretty far from Gen 6. I think Gen 6 is, yeah, but I could be, I would love to be wrong and see some new Pokemon. It'd be pretty interesting. It couldn't be Kalos. We have way too much missing for Fairy type. Maybe if we had a Pokemon that 4 times resisted Fairy, someone with Fire and Steel typing. I can't speak on that end. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think we'll see Kalos anytime soon. Alrighty, fellas, but with those 5 eggs hatched, I think that is where I'm going to go ahead and call it today, unfortunately. A lot of big news, a lot of fun shunting, and I really enjoyed every second of it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed at least some of it. Like the video if you did, dislike if you did not. Subscribe for PokeMMO videos every single day, even when I'm not live, and even during my break from now until the Christmas events. Yeah, check out HelloFresh, link in the description. It's the best way to support the stream. It's over here. Best way to support the stream. You get 50% off your first order. It's awesome food. It's super generous to me, and I hope you all like it. Everybody that I've talked to seems to really enjoy it, and you may not want to continue it after your first box, which is totally okay, but you can't go wrong trying it out. Trying it with the discount code, there's just literally, you can't go wrong. It's just too good of a price. So go Ravens. Yeah, have a good weekend. Have a good day. I will see you guys later. Good luck on your shunts. Much love to you all in the PokeMMO community. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno. Hey, what's up? Patrouski here, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me, and if your name is listed here, that means you went above and beyond and supported the channel financially, which allows me to even be here and have the time to do this. So thank you so very much.